What's up, everyone? It is Mr. M, and I'm back today with a collection update. I got some of all 3 of the formats and some 7 inches as well, so let's roll right into it. First up, got Moanin of ZezBeth. This is their debut record, Ancient Spells of Darkness. Came out this year on Nuclear War Now Productions. The CD version also includes the Dawn of Morbid Sorcery demo that came out last year. Moanin of ZezBeth is a 2-piece black metal band from Belgium. At least one of the members has been confirmed to be in Perverted Ceremony. Maybe both of them. I'm not entirely sure. But along with Perverted Ceremony, it's definitely got that old school Beharit and Samael type sound. And if you watched this channel before, you know how much I love Perverted Ceremony, and that stuff is right up my alley too. And if there's anyone who hasn't heard Moanin of ZezBeth that does like Perverted Ceremony, definitely check them out. Next up is a band called Haunt. This is their debut EP, Luminous Eyes. Came out on Shadow Kingdom Records last year. At the time of this release, it was just a one-man band with Trevor William Church from Beastmaker. And then earlier this year, not too long ago, like only a month or two, they put out Burst Into Flame, in which he got together a whole band and did this record, also on Shadow Kingdom Records. Haunt is a band that plays some excellent traditional heavy metal, and they're one of the few newer bands right now that is doing very well. So, and they're also going on tour in November with Municipal Waste, High on Fire, and Toxic Holocaust. And then they're also playing the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest in December in Los Angeles. So you'll definitely have plenty of times to get to check them out in November or so. Next up is the one cassette for this video. This is Blasphemous Go to Christ with Black Metal Warfare. Also put out on Nuclear War Now Productions. Just comes on this black pro tape. Blasphemous Go to Christ features members of Blasphemy, Goat Penis, and Antichrist. And that is how they get their long band name. And out of all of them, the only band that I've really listened to out of the 3 of them has been Blasphemy. I've listened to Goat Penis and Antichrist, but it's only been like 1 or 2 songs. As I've said, I'm not a huge black metal fan. But I'm going to assume Goat Penis last year, they had a great record, apparently. Antichrist and Blasphemy are definitely both some heavyweights when it comes to black metal. So if you're a fan of either of those 3 bands, definitely check this one out. Hopefully it will be worth it. Next up is the Vastum and Spectral Voice split. Cannot remember if I showed it, and I'm too lazy to go back to check to see if I did. Put out on Dark Descent Records. Comes in this nice old school presentation, just like a fold up sheet with the record and an insert in it. And the inserts here, I think it's got some lyrics or something pertaining to the artwork right there. There is some on black and some on a transparent blue vinyl, and the blue vinyl is what I got. I actually did think I talked about this, but Vastum killed it on this side. Both bands killed it, but I much preferred the Vastum side of this, which is what a lot of people seem to be preferring. Not to take anything away from Spectral Voice at all, because their song is great, but Vastum just did such a good job on their side of it. Next up, we have Cathelist, is how I'm going to pronounce the band name. I've heard this band name be pronounced like 4 different ways, so I guess to each their own. Unless I hear one of the band members say otherwise, I'm going to call it Cathelist. And this 7-inch is called Passage into the ZezBeth, which that's how also I'm going to say it. I don't think anyone knows how to say it other than the band members. This was put out on Profound Lore Records. I think there's like 3 or 4 different colors maybe. I just ended up getting the black because it was almost sold out by the time I got it. I was just lucky to get my hands off of it. And color is secondary to me, really. I mean, as long as I can get it on vinyl, I'll be happy. Catalyst is from Quebec. They put out an amazing record in 2016 called Les Derniers Crépuscules, I think. They play technical death metal, but it's not super technical. It's not just some noodling away on the guitar. There's riffs to it. And then they, along with the title track for this, they also have a song called Beneath the Crypts, which was originally done by Crematory. And apparently there's 2 different bands called Crematory. I didn't even know that. I just knew the one that was from like Sweden, I think. If it's not from Sweden, they're from Scandinavia or something. But this is sold out, but you could still stream it on YouTube and I'm sure Bandcamp too. I'll have a link to it below. And then the last 7-inch is definitely my favorite of the 3. This is the Gorephilia and Undergang split, put out on Misako Un Oho. I was towards the tail end of getting this as too, but I think that this split might still be available. 1 song each for each band. Gorephilia's song is called Tranquility of War, Perpetual Chaos Vortex. And Undergang's song is pronounced like that. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it like that because I know I'm going to butcher it. I don't think this was part of the 7-inch, but they threw in this 3D death metal thing along with the MSUO Spider. And then insert. This side's for Undergang. This side's for Gorephilia. And I just got it on black vinyl. It's got very simple center labels. Nothing too fancy about it at all. I don't think, unlike the Vastum and Spectral Voice split, I don't think I can pick a favorite side for this because both bands did such a great job on this split. Undergang, I'm sure everyone knows by now. They put out like 4 records or something. They've been putting out a record almost every year. It seems like they're doing a killer job. And then Gorephilia is a band that I don't think a lot of people really know about. They put out a record last year called Severed Monolith, and I think it was their first record in 5 years. They are from Finland, I want to say. Not entirely sure about that. But they play some excellent death metal as well. I'm pretty sure this is still available, and I'm going to have a link to it down below. Definitely get your hands on this if you're a fan of either of these bands, because especially if you're collector's scum, the only way to get these songs is to get it through this 7-inch. And it is some filth, especially the Undergang side, it's some filthy death metal. So yeah, next up is another split. I didn't realize there was so many splits when I put this together. This is a split between Primitive Man and Unearthly Trance. Came out on Relapse Records. Unearthly Trance is a band that I actually hadn't even heard of before this split. Now I'm sure everyone probably knows Primitive Man by now. Here's the insert for it. They're just a beat down of like crusty doom metal. And then Unearthly Trance, I feel like I should like them, but I just don't. I've listened to this split several times, and I just cannot get to liking Unearthly Trance. They do some, they're more of a mid-pace of Primitive Man without like the massive beatdown that Primitive Man has sometimes. But yeah, I just can't bring myself to like them. Maybe if I listen to some of their own stuff as opposed to stuff that was on the split, maybe I'll like them some more. But as for now, I'm not really digging them all that much. I got it on this smoky clear with white and black splatter. This was limited to 300 copies. There's also a download code, but I gave that to someone, so sorry guys. But, oh well. As for the Primitive Man side of things, since I do like them, actually, before I get to Primitive Man, the entire thing as a whole, there's 7 tracks. There's 2 for Primitive Man, 4 for Unearthly Trance, and then from what I gathered, reading the liner notes and stuff on the YouTube videos, the intro was a collaborative effort between the two. And for Primitive Man, the one song, Naked, which is their opening song, basically, it's this first song after the intro. They're basically just going full on like what you would expect. Like when you listen to Caustic the first time, or they had one release before that, I can't remember, I think it was just demo or something, maybe, I don't know. But if you're a fan of Caustic or that stuff that came before it, you're definitely going to be a fan of the song Naked. It's just a crushing beat down upon you. And then their second song, called Love Under Will, I'm pretty sure, there almost isn't any music to it, really. Like, not in the traditional Primitive Man sense. There's a lot of like ambient stuff, and then towards the end there's like a recording of something. I don't know if it was from a movie or something else, but it's like a really ambient. I think there's some keyboards in it as well. It's definitely not what you would have expected, maybe, especially if this would be your first time hearing Primitive Man. But at least the Primitive Man sound, like I said, I'd probably need to let Unearthly Trance grow on me, but definitely check out the Primitive Man side because it crushes. And then the last thing on this collection update is Contamination. This is a sampler. Just came out on black vinyl, and I don't know how well you can see it. It's shipped like this, but there's a lot of cardboard flakes on this fucking thing. So I'm going to have to clean that off soon. This sampler features 4 bands: Dying Fetus, Incantation, Genocide Pact, and Gatecreeper, all of which are touring together here very soon. The tour starts in a week. I'm definitely going to be seeing this, if above all, just for Dying Fetus and Incantation. But Gatecreeper and Genocide Pact have both put out amazing stuff. 2 songs from each band are just from, with the exception of Genocide Pact, I think they're all from their most recent albums. Dying Fetus, their songs are from Wrong One to Fuck With. Incantation, their songs are from Profane Nexus. Sonoran Deprivation from Gatecreeper. I think Genocide Pact's most recent album was called Cosmic Crypt or something along those lines. And the songs that are on this sampler came from Order of Torment. And this is an absolutely stacked tour. You're getting some legends in Incantation and Dying Fetus, as well as some newer bands. At least I think newer bands. I know Gatecreeper's kind of new. Genocide Pact is a band that I haven't really spent a whole lot of time with. But still, this is like a 6-week long tour or something like that, going through the United States and Canada. And if you can go to this tour. I highly recommend it. Because if you're into death metal, you're seeing at least one band that you'd fucking like. And this sampler, I only really bought it because of collector's scum. It was $10. And I think FYE has a CD version. This was only pressed on 1,000 copies too. Just on black vinyl, nothing super special. I mean, it's a sampler. It wasn't meant to be anything super special. But yeah, that's going to conclude this video. Like I said, I'm going to have links to everything down below. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you found some new music that you like. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.